Before Rome crumbled, before Europe rose from the ashes of the Dark Ages, there stood a civilization so powerful, so advanced, it commanded the seas, minted its own money, and guarded secrets still whispered in the Bible. They didn't just build kingdoms, they built legends. This was Axum, and somehow, the world forgot them. The kingdom of Axum rose from the highlands of modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea around the 1st century AD. At its peak, Axum stood shoulder to shoulder with Rome, Persia, and the Han dynasty of China. It wasn't a small kingdom, it was an empire, controlling trade routes from the Nile to the Indian Ocean. Gold, ivory, frankincense, spices, and exotic beasts flowed through its mighty ports. And yet, most people today couldn't point to it on a map. Why? Because colonial historians erased it. Because it didn't fit the narrative of a dark continent. But the truth? Oh, the truth is louder than silence. Axum's capital city was a marvel of ancient engineering. Towering stone obelisks, some taller than a 10-story building, stood watch over palaces and tombs. Built without mortar, without cranes, without steel. They created their own writing system, Ge'ez, still used in Ethiopian liturgy today. They minted coins centuries before much of Europe, inscribed with lions, kings, and later, crosses. And while European kings were still sacrificing to Roman gods, Axum's king, Ezana, declared Christianity the state religion in the 4th century AD, before most of Europe. Under Ezana, Axum became a sanctuary, a beacon for early Christians persecuted under Roman law. Some say even the Ark of the Covenant was hidden here, and guarded ever since by a single monk, day and night. In the Bible's Book of Kings, the Queen of Sheba journeys to meet Solomon. She is wise, wealthy, and Ethiopian legend claims she was Axumite. Their son, Menelik I, is said to have brought the Ark of the Covenant to Axum. Myth? Maybe. But in Axum, that story is not fantasy. It is faith. And the Church of St. Mary of Zion? It claims to still hold the Ark. Behind its stone walls, guarded by a priest who is never allowed to leave. But even giants fall. By the 7th century, new Islamic empires began dominating the Red Sea trade. Axum, once the bridge between Africa, Arabia, and Asia, became cut off. The rivers dried, forests vanished, and the empire began to fade. By the 10th century, Axum's great towers stood alone, silent. The world moved on and forgot, but the empire didn't vanish. It transformed. Its language? Still spoken in churches. Its religion? Still practiced in the Ethiopian Orthodox tradition. Its memory? Carried in blood and story. Today, the descendants of Axum still walk its lands. In Lalibela, stone churches carved from mountains still echo with ancient chants. In monasteries, monks still write in Ge'ez, and in the chapel of Axum, the Ark still watches. Axum didn't just influence Ethiopia, it defined what it meant to be a sovereign African empire. Long before Europe thought Africa could build, lead, or rise. So the next time someone tells you Africa was only villages and spears, tell them about Axum, an empire of stone, scripture, and sea. A kingdom erased by time, but not by truth. Because here, on Abeni Fact, we don't just tell history, we resurrect it.